Hey guys, what's up? I am Jade, and today I'm bringing you a beautiful yoga flow to open your hearts up, to feel a little bit more vulnerable, to feel a little bit more love for yourself, more confidence, and also to love others with a bigger heart and more open heart, okay? Without judgment, just full open heart on the table, okay? So obviously today we are working on heart openers. So we're gonna be accentuating that thoracic, that upper spine opening, creating that length within the spine, really building up the strength in the legs to keep the spine long and keep the spine and the hips neutral during these poses. All right, so this is a little intense. You're gonna notice a lot of emotions coming up. I suggest that you really take the time to listen to your body, listen to your heart, and let those emotions just arise and come up. They're just gonna stay within us if we don't let them just come out. Okay, so let yourself be open, let yourself be just as vulnerable as possible during this class, okay? I hope you love it. All right, I'll meet you on your mat. All right, friends, let's go ahead and begin in a Virasana pose. So we're gonna sit on top of our heels with our shins pressing into the floor, knees are pointed in front of us. And just try to sit up nice and tall here. Just bring your hands on top of your front thighs, closing your eyes, connecting with your body right now and your breath. So think of inhaling as we lengthen up through the spine, all the way out through the crown of the head. Try to keep your spine as neutral as possible, almost as though you're laying flat on the floor here. And then as you exhale, dropping the shoulders, begin to soften the ribs into the body, and then begin to pull the navel in towards the spine. So just bringing a little awareness and strength into the core. Breathing in again, finding that space, drawing your attention to your body in this moment. And then exhale, just letting go of anything else. Finding that surrender here in this pose. Your next inhale, let's reach the arms in front of us and then up towards the sky. Try to maintain that spine nice and neutral, keeping the ribs softening into the body, even with the arms above us. And then as you exhale, we're gonna fly the arms out to the side and then just behind us as we bring them all the way to clasp behind our back. Drawing the fist down towards the floor. We're gonna begin to spin the biceps back. So spinning the inner arms backwards, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears again. And think as though you're pulling the heart open towards the front. So we're lifting it forward and lifting it up towards the sky as we draw the fist closer towards the floor. So again, inhale for space, exhale, go a little bit deeper into this pose. So drawing the fist maybe closer towards the floor, maybe pressing the shoulder blades into the heart to really open the heart up forward. As you inhale, breathing in through the nose, opening the ribs, expanding the lungs. Exhale, firming the core, a little bit further towards the floor with the fist. Let's breathe in again here. And then as you begin to exhale, we're gonna roll the body forward, bringing it all the way to the floor as we lift the fist up towards the sky. Let's breathe in, arching back, lifting the body back up. And then exhale, falling to the floor, lifting that fist up towards the sky. Again, inhale, keeping the shoulders pulling away from the ears. And then exhale, folding all the way to the floor. Releasing the torso to the front of the thighs. This time, let's release the hands all the way down into our Balasana pose. So bringing your hands all the way out in front of you, pressing the palms into the floor, shoulder distance apart. We're gonna inhale, lift all the way up into our tabletop pose. Exhale, roll the spine back, lifting the spine up towards the sky, dropping the chin all the way down to the chest as we press the hips all the way back onto the heels. Let's inhale, come back forward. We're gonna lift and then arch the spine, maybe coming a little bit more forward this time. You may notice a little stretch in your forearms and your wrists. Exhale, press the hips all the way back. Begin to roll the spine. So just a little movement in the spine. Inhale, arching forward, maybe dropping the hips towards the floor a little bit more, and then exhale, lift the hips back. Sink all the way back into your balasana. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arching the spine forward. This time, let's go ahead and bend the elbows back, release the body all the way to the floor. Keeping the palms pressing into the floor, release the forehead, press into the palms again. We're gonna lift up and then press the hips back. So now we're just going all the way back to balasana again. And as we inhale, we're gonna release all the way forward, begin to arch the spine. So we're coming in for cow pose. So we release all the way to the floor, a little bhujangasana, lifting up and then pressing into the legs. Right back to balasana. Let's do that one more time. Lifting and then arching. So like a little wave, we're rolling into an arch. Elbows point back, shoulders pull away, release to the floor. And this time, let's press into the palms. Maybe you can begin to straighten the arms, maybe just a high bhujangasana. So keeping the elbows slightly bent. And then lift the hips. This time, curl the toes, press the hips up, keeping the knees bent, pressing into the hands, finding length through the arms here, and then begin to extend the knees, coming into our downward facing dog. So here you may want to just start by walking your downward facing dog out, just building a little strength in the legs, in the arms, and then also a little bit of slight openness, little by little, into the hamstrings. And then when you're ready, go ahead and straighten the knees out just slightly. You can keep a little bend. Make sure that you're pressing evenly through the hands, lifting up through the arms, keeping the triceps spinning downwards. And then we're gonna roll all the way forward into our plank pose. And rolling, arching slightly to lift the hips back, pressing into the hands, lifting right back into our downward facing dog. Let's do that again. So rolling like a wave all the way into our plank pose. And then arching, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Last time, roll it forward like a wave. And then arch, lift the hips, downward facing dog. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and bend the knees and just walk all the way forward to the front of the mat into our forward fold Uttanasana pose. So folding from the front hip flexors, those hip creases, releasing the upper body. Let's press the feet into the mat, lift halfway up so you can bring your hands onto the front of the shins, extending through the spine, and then folding all the way back down. Back into our forward fold. We're going to press into the feet and then begin to roll the spine all the way up, ragdoll up, so keeping the core strong, lifting all the way up, reach the arms back slightly and then up towards the sky, bringing your hands to touch at the top in prayer, reaching, arching back slightly, lifting the heart up, so squeezing the glutes together, pulling your tailbone down, lifting up through the heart, and then bending the elbows, flying all the way down, bending from the hips all the way down into our Uttanasana forward fold. Lift into Ardha Uttanasana, so half lift. And then exhale all the way back down. Let's step straight back with our right leg into a lunge. Release the back knee down. We're going to uncurl the toes, pressing into the front foot. We're going to lift the arms up towards the sky. So make sure here the knee is right over top of that heel, and the knee and the toe, second big toe, is pointed straight forward. We're going to reach up, maybe slightly reaching back, pressing the hips down. Think of pulling that left hip back as we push the right hip forward. Breathe in deeply here. And then as we exhale, we're going to fly the arms just out to the side. Clasp them behind you again like we did in the beginning. Draw them down towards the floor as we inhale to lift the heart up. So drawing the fist as far down as possible, pulling the shoulders down. Find your alignment in your legs. And then on your next inhale, we're gonna release the arms, bring them back up again, and then fly them all the way down, forward. We're gonna press the hands into the floor, curl the back toes, lift the back leg, press that left foot straight back into your plank, release the knees, roll all the way down, elbows point back all the way down to the floor. This time what I want you to do is release the forehead onto the floor, pressing into the palms, elbows pointing back. We're gonna peel the heart up off the floor. So squeezing the outer hips in towards your midline. Think of really drawing your tailbone down towards the back of your heels as you press the top of the feet into the floor. Exhale, release back down. Let's inhale again, lifting up, this time pressing the body all the way up, straightening the arms. And maybe you can lift the thighs up off the floor. Release the knees back down, sink the hips all the way back into your Balasana. And roll all the way up, this time coming to tabletop. Release your elbows all the way down to the floor, right underneath your shoulders, and then bring your hips all the way back down to the floor. So make sure those elbows are underneath your shoulders. Let's go ahead and bring your left hand and bring it in so it's parallel right to the front of your mat, okay? So we're gonna bring that right heel up and try to bring it in just towards your right glute. Keep your right knee pointed straight back, so don't let your knees fall out to the side. And then you're just gonna reach the right arm back and see if you can grab to the right ankle. And just stay here for a moment. Think of really pulling that right arm back as you draw that heel closer towards your glute. And just breathe here. Maybe you can begin to bend the right elbow. So keeping the right elbow in line with your body, don't let it come out to the side. Keeping the knee in line with your hip, make sure it's not falling out to the side as well. And just breathe here, pressing into that left forearm, keeping your shoulders level to the front of the mat, we're not turning. And think of really pulling that heart forward, elongating through the spine. And then go ahead and release that right foot. Let's switch it up. So we're gonna cross the right hand in front of you now, so it's parallel to the front of the mat. Right elbow to underneath your shoulder. Lift your left heel in towards your left glute, and then go ahead and pressing into the right hand, forearm, reach the left hand back and grab onto the ankle if you can. So keeping the foot and the knee in line with your body. Shoulders again are level to the front of the mat. So we're just drawing that heel in, not lifting the leg at all. We're just drawing that heel in towards the glute, just bringing a little bit of a stretch in your quad muscle, the front of the top of the thigh. Again, pull the heart forward and keep that breath moving through you. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release and bring your elbow back underneath your shoulder. Bring both hands in front of you. Breathe in. Lift the hips up, coming back into a tabletop. Bring your hands right underneath the shoulders. We're gonna sink back to our Balasana. Release the forehead. Let's come all the way back up. Curling the toes. We're gonna lift the hips right into our downward facing dog. And extending the knees. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and walk all the way forward. Right back into our forward fold, Uttanasana. Lifting halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Finding length through your spine, and then folding from the hip flexor. Pressing into the feet, rolling all the way up, ragdoll. Flying the arms out to the side, inhaling deeply as we arch slightly back. Remember to draw the tailbone down towards the floor. And then exhale, bending the elbows, coming all the way back down to our Uttanasana, forward fold. Lifting halfway up, Ardha, and then exhale, all the way back down, pressing the hands into the mat. This time we're gonna lift the left leg up and step straight back into our lunge, releasing the back knee, reaching the arms forward on a deep inhale, uncurling the back toes, reaching up nice and high. Again, find that alignment, so pulling the right hip back as we press the left hip forward. Go ahead and begin to really push the hips down towards the floor. We're We're gonna lift all the way up through the spine, reaching the arms back. And then exhale, let's fly the arms out to the side. Again, we're gonna clasp them behind us and then just begin to pull them down towards the floor. Remember to draw the shoulders down away from your ears. We're lifting the heart up towards the sky, pressing the shoulder blades into the heart to really lift and open the heart up. Spinning the inner arms back, stretching out the shoulders, the chest. And keep breathing. Find length with your inhale. Find that stability. And that exhale allows you to go a little bit deeper, softening into the pose. On your next inhale, let's reach the arms up to the sky. And then bring the hands back down to the floor. We're gonna curl the back toes, lifting the knee, press into the hands to press the right foot straight back. Let's lift the hips right up into our downward facing dog. Very good, you guys. This time let's bend the knees and let's just step slowly forward. Take a few steps into our Uttanasana, our forward fold. So as we stand here in our forward fold, try to really press into the mat and lift up through the legs. So spinning the inner thighs back here. Deep breath in. And then exhale, let the upper body just fall and release towards the floor. Trying to keep the back as neutral as possible, so bending the knees to allow the chest to fall on top of the thighs. And on your next inhale, let's lift halfway up, pressing into the shins, or you can release the fingertips to the floor. The point is to keep the spine, again, as neutral as possible. Releasing back into your forward fold. Let's press into the feet. Rolling up to our ragdoll, reaching the arms out to the side. Deep breath in. Bring the hands to touch above, a slight arch in the back. This time let's cactus the arms out to the side. Pressing the shoulder blades into the back to really lift the heart up. And then inhale, reach right back up. This time as we exhale, we're going to fly the arms out to the side and then just roll all the way back down to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold all the way back down, pressing the hands into the mat. Let's just step back, one foot followed by the other into a plank. Release the knees down, roll all the way back down, slowly elbows pointing back, touch the forehead to the floor, and then we're gonna reverse, so pressing right back up. This time see if you can come in for a seal pose, so straining the arms, the elbows, drawing the shoulders back again, the heart pulls forward. And what I want you to think about doing here is you may notice that your legs want to fall outwards. So we want to really pull the legs in, keep them in line with our body. The heels are pointed up. The tailbone is drawing down to find space in that spine. And we're really pressing that heart forward. Good job, you guys. And then when you're ready, press into the legs, lift the hips up, curl the toes under, pressing into the hands, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let's lift the right leg up slightly, so not going for height here. We're just looking for that space in the upper body, so really pressing to lift through the spine. And then draw the knee into the chest, shift forward into your plank, step that right foot right between the hands. All right, this time let's lower the knee back down. Uncurl the toes, lift the arms up towards the sky, same alignment. Pulling right hip back, left hip forward, knee above that front heel. Toes and knees pointed forward, sinking the hips towards the floor. This time we're gonna open up towards our left side. So let's open very slowly. Right arm's gonna point forward, left arm back. So you may not be able to open up completely to that left side. Most importantly is you're keeping that right knee forward, and then we're pressing that left knee down, okay? So we're not allowing our bodies to completely change from the lower body, just the upper body. All right, and then what I want you to do is exhale, release that left hand down, and then we're gonna inhale to reach up with the right arm and over towards the back of the mat. Okay, so bringing that left hand down, pulling that shoulder back, really pressing that shoulder blade into the heart, reaching up through the right arm and back. Sinking the hips again down towards the mat. Breathe here. And then let's go ahead and reach the arms back, front and back. And then this time we're gonna reach the right arm down to the mat, and then left arm is gonna come up towards the sky. So arm is pressing into the right knee, and the right knee is pressing right back here. Still, our upper body's opening up to that left side. Keep breathing. And on your next inhale, let's come right back up. We're gonna swoop that left arm down, bringing both shoulders forward facing again. Arms are gonna come down to the mat. We're gonna lift the back knee up. And this time we're gonna press into the front foot and step that left foot forward, right into our forward fold Uttanasana. Let's lift halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, and then forward fold. Press into the feet, let's roll all the way up. Very quickly, reach the arms up, deep breath in, arching back subtly. Exhale to cactus the arms out to the side. Inhale, reach them back up. Exhale, bend at the elbows, fold all the way back down, forward fold. Lift halfway up, Ardha, and then exhale, forward fold. Pressing the hands into the mat, stepping right back into your plank. We're gonna shift the knees down to the floor, roll all the way down. Tap the foreheads very softly and curl the toes, pressing into the top of the feet. We're gonna extend the arms, lift the heart. Coming in for a seal pose, think of squeezing the inner thighs in towards each other here. And then press into the knees, curling the toes, right back into our downward facing dog. All right, you guys, let's go in for the other side. So this time we're gonna lift the left leg up. Remember, we're not looking for height, we're just looking for length here. So pressing into the hands, elbows are pointed down towards the floor, arms are straight, left hip is down towards the right hip. We're not twisting the hips, we're keeping them level. And then we're gonna bend the knee, shift forward into our plank, step the left foot between the hands this time. Let's release the right knee down, uncurling the toes, press into that front foot, reach the arms up, finding your alignment here. Almost imagining pulling your legs apart here. So you're gonna feel a very deep stretch in your front right hip, in your psoas muscle. So again, pulling the tailbone down, left hip back, right hip presses forward, reaching up through the spine all the way out through the crown of the head. And this time we're gonna open up to our right side. So reaching the left arm forward, right arm back. Deep breath here. Just stay here for a moment. Make sure that left knee does not move. So keeping that left knee open to the front. So keeping that left knee pointed towards the front. Breathe. Twisting only from your torso and your upper body. On your next exhale, let's release the right hand down. And then as you inhale, we're gonna reach up and over with that left hand. So trying to get the shoulders opening to your right side. We're lifting up through the body. We're not just bending back, we're lifting up through the spine and then reaching up and over towards the back of the mat. Sinking the hips closer towards the floor. Keep breathing. And then reaching the arms front and back again, we're going to just release the left hand down. Right arm's going to come up towards the sky. And then here we're going to press the knee into the arm right back into the knee. Just trying a little bit of strength in that inner thigh. This is going to help us to keep our knees level so they don't open up when we go into our back bends. So keep that back Right glute nice and firm here. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bring the arms right back up, front and back. We're gonna swipe that right arm down, shoulders forward to the front, reach the arms up and back, and then bring the arms down to the floor. Again, pressing into the mat, we're gonna curl the back toe, press into the front foot, step forward, Uttanasana, making sure the feet are level as you step forward, lifting up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go a little bit faster, so rolling up, Tadasana, reaching the arms up, and then arching back. Let's go ahead and cactus on an exhale. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bend the elbows, fly all the way down, forward fold. Ardha, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing the hands into the mat, let's step the right leg straight back. Press into the hands and then step that left leg straight back, plank. Let's lower the knees, lower the hips, tap the forehead, elbows point back, pull the shoulders back, and then lift straight up into your seal, this time pressing into the top of the feet. We're gonna lift the thighs up this time, coming in for our Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, so upward facing dog. Remember, shoulders back, heart forward. We're gazing softly ahead of us, not looking up. Squeezing the glutes together, pulling the tailbone down, really pressing the side hips in towards the midline. And then pressing into the top of the feet, lifting the hips up as we arch the back into our downward facing dog. All right, bending the knees. Maybe this time you can press into the hands and float forward. Maybe you step forward into your Uttanasana, whichever is working for you today. Ardha, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Lift all the way up, rolling. Arms come up, deep breath in. Hands touch, exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach. Bending the elbows, fly all the way back down. Uttanasana. Lift halfway up, Ardha. Exhale, Uttanasana. Pressing into the hands this time, lift the left leg straight back. Press into the hands. Right foot comes straight back, plank. Lower the knees all the way down, tap the forehead. We're gonna lift up right into our upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's bend the knees. Maybe this time you can float, so looking where you wanna float to. Forward fold. So as you float, make sure you lift the hips high up and use your hands for your stability. Let's lift halfway up, Ardha. Exhale, forward fold. This time, press the hands into the mat. We're going to step straight back into our plank. Shift forward, release the knees, roll all the way down, tap the forehead, and then press into the hands, lifting up into your Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog. This time, let's release the knees to the floor. We're just gonna come into our tabletop pose. Make sure the knees are underneath your hips. We're gonna extend the right leg straight back, press into the right hand. Let's go ahead and bend that right knee. So we're gonna draw that heel in towards the glute, press into the right hand, reach the left arm up away from the floor and back, and then see if you can grab and reach on to that ankle, that right ankle. So be careful not to twist open to your left side. I want you to keep that left shoulder level with the right shoulder. So you're facing forward here, really finding space in that right arm. And you're keeping the right knee pulling right behind the glute. So don't let it fall out to the side. We're gonna lift that heel up towards the sky. Lift the arm up towards the sky. Again, we're gonna think of really pulling the heart forward, keeping the spine as straight as possible. So using that right glute muscle to really lift that leg up. So really squeezing the glute muscle. Breathe. Stay with me, you guys. I know this is tough, but I know you can do it. If you need to use a strap here, you can always use it to create a little bit of length. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release the ankle, bring your hand down, extend the right leg out, and then bring the knee all the way down. Let's sink the hips back, coming into our balasana pose. Just release the forehead, take a breath. And as you exhale, we're gonna roll right back up. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So bring that left leg straight back. Go ahead and bend the knee, and then bring that heel just in towards the glutes slightly. Press into that left hand that's underneath the shoulder, and then reach the right arm straight back. Go ahead and grab that ankle, and then check your alignment here. So make sure that left knee didn't fall out to the side. Keep the knee in line with your hips, with your left hip, and then pulling that right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. We're gonna lift that heel up towards the sky. Knee lifts, heart presses forward. We're pulling the right shoulder back, but keeping the shoulders level to the front of the mat. And breathe. So keeping the glute nice and firm on the left glute, finding stability with the limbs on the floor. Trying to stay balanced and stay level. And breathe. Remember to keep that breath moving fluidly through you. The minute we stop breathing and start doing shallow breathing, our body starts to feel unsafe. So we tighten up and clench up. Modify as needed. If you need to back off a little bit, then do so. And make sure you're able to take a nice deep breath in. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release the right hand down, extend that left leg, bring the knee back to the floor, sink the hips back into Balasana. Release the forehead, just take a breath, release the elbows. On your next inhale, let's press up and step straight back into your plank. All right, release the knees, roll all the way down, tap the forehead, elbows back, press into the hands, lifting up into your upward facing dog, so lifting the thighs off the floor. Again, we're pressing into the top of the feet, squeezing the outer hips in, glutes are strong, lifting the hips up, pressing into the top of the feet, downward facing dog. Very good, you guys. This time, let's lift the right leg up to the sky like we did before. See if you can get a little bit higher this time. And then we're gonna bring the knee into the chest, step, front foot. Let's bring the arms up to the sky, coming into our high lunge pose or crescent pose, reaching up through the arms. So same rules apply here, but now that back leg is up. So what we want to do is keep the thigh lifting away from the floor as strong as possible. Toes are right underneath the heels. Glute is very strong to allow that left hip to push forward, right hip to pull back. Right knee is on top of that front heel, and then toes and knees are pointed forward. Arms are reaching up, finding space through the spine. We're lifting up all the way through the crown of the head, finding strength in the legs, really pulling the legs apart here. Let's cactus on an exhale, the arms out to the side, and then release the hands to clasp behind you. All right, so drawing the fist down to the floor. What we're gonna do is inhale deeply, reaching the heart up, and then exhale, we're going to just fly the body down to the inside of that right leg. Releasing the forehead down. Inhale as we come up. All right, you guys, stay with me. So releasing the body to the inner leg, and then inhale, reaching up. Let's do that again. Releasing it down, and then bringing it up. Reaching the arms up this time. Let's reach the arms down to the floor. Lift the right leg, step straight back, plank. Release the knees, roll all the way down, tapping the forehead very softly, and then lifting up to your upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's lift the left leg up this time, 3-leg dog. Bend the knee, shift it all the way into the chest, coming into plank, and then step it between the hands. Pressing into the front foot, lifting the arms up, find your alignment. Sink the hips down a little bit further. Cactus the arms out to the side on an exhale. And then as you inhale, and then release the hands all the way behind you, clasping them right behind you. We're gonna inhale deeply here, finding that space, and then exhale, release the body all the way down. Surrender, inhale up, And then exhale as you come down. So keeping that stability within the legs as we move the upper body. Inhale, up. So you can arch the body a little bit more. Exhale, down. Pressing into the front foot, lift up. This time reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, release the hands to the mat. Step straight back into your plank, releasing all the way down, tapping the forehead, and then lifting up to your upward facing dog. Let's press into the knees this time and then just sink the hips right back into our balasana pose. Release the forehead, taking a breath. All right, you guys, let's roll up to tabletop. Curl the toes, pressing into the hands, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. All right, let's bring the right leg to lift up to the sky again. Deep breath in, exhale, bring the knee into the chest, step between the hands again, same thing like we did before. Pressing into the front foot, we're gonna lift the arms up towards the sky. Very good, you guys. Let's open the arms up, twisting towards the left side. We did this before with the back knee on the floor. We're gonna release that left hand down, reach the arm up and back towards the back of the mat. So pressing that left thigh away from the floor, sink the hips down towards the floor. Make sure that right knee is over that right heel, knee and toes are pointed forward, and we're lifting up through the heart. And just breathe here. All right, let's reach the arms front and back and then release the right hand down to the inside of that right leg. Left arm's gonna reach up towards the sky. We're gonna sink the hips down as far as you can here. Staying very strong in the legs, pressing the right arm into the knee presses right back. This time you can reach the left arm to reach forward. This is just a little side angle pose. All right, so strong through that right leg, back leg. Reach the arms front and back again. Left arm's gonna swoop down and up, and then release the arms to the floor. Step that right leg straight back. Release the knees, release the body. Tapping the forehead, very slow and controlled. Pressing right back up. Urdhva, lift the thighs up off the floor. And then this time let's lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Let's go right into the left side. So left leg is gonna come up. Lift for height this time, so lifting that leg as high as you can. Bring the knee into the chest, step it between the hands. And we're gonna press into that front foot, lifting the arms up towards the sky. Finding your alignment, staying here. Let's open the right hand back, left hand forward, keeping the legs right where they are. And then exhale, release the right hand down to the back of that right thigh. We're gonna lift and reach the left arm up and over towards the back. So only twisting from your upper body. Find length through the side body, strength through the legs. Just one more breath here. And then exhale, release the left arm down. Right arm's gonna come up towards the sky to start out. All right, so pressing arm into the knee, knee right back. We're keeping that back thigh away from the floor. Maybe you can reach that right arm up and over towards the front of the mat into your side angle. So it's a little bit different because we're keeping that back heel up. A little variant here. A little bit trickier. Keep that right glute nice and strong to keep opening up that right psoas muscle, the front of the thigh. All right, so pressing into that front leg, let's come right back up and then swoop the right arm down and up towards the sky, fly it out. Bring the hands down, press the left foot straight back, release the knees all the way down, little break, elbows point back, tapping the forehead. Let's lift up, Urdhva Mukha, Svanasana, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Let's release the knees all the way to the floor. Let's go ahead and sink back Balasana, just taking a breath again. And then let's lift right back up into our downward facing dog. Let's press into the hands, and maybe you can float, so bending the knees. Look where you want to float, press into the hands, and then lift the hips. And see if you can softly hop to where you want to land. Lift halfway up, Ardha. Exhale, forward fold. Rolling the spine, coming up, keeping your core nice and strong. You may feel a few cracks here and there, and that's okay. Reach the arms up overhead, and then draw your hands to heart center. Just catch your breath for a moment here in the standing pose. All right, you guys, so today we're gonna do a few back bend poses. So to start out, we're gonna do our dancer's pose. So first, what I want you to do is find that stability within your stance right now on the right foot. So press evenly into the floor. Firm the right glute, stay nice and strong with that right leg, a little soft bend in the right knee. I want you to press into the hands, stay here for just a second, and then bend that left knee and bring the heel towards the glute, okay? Not too strong, but just lifting it up. Let's lift the left hand back. You can keep the right hand pressing, almost like the left hand is still there, and then reach for the ankle of that left foot. Keep the knee in towards the midline. Press into the right foot, and then just begin to tip forward here, okay? You can begin to reach your arm forward if that feels better, or you can keep it right at your heart. Lift that left leg. Keeping the knee in line with the body, we want to think of really pulling the knee up. So pressing that ankle into the left hand, really pulling the left hand behind us. Again, shoulder and the knee are in line with the hip. Sink the body forward, so bending with that right hip flexor. Lift the foot up towards the sky. And once you feel balanced, then go ahead and lift that knee up on the left leg a little bit higher. Squeezing the left glute, lifting, staying balanced. See if you can go a little bit higher and just keep breathing. If you'd like to reach your arm forward as you come more forward, you can do so for balance. We're just gonna stay here for another moment. Deep breath in, and then exhale very softly. Bring the knee back in, release the hand, bring the foot right back down. Take a breath, reach the arms up towards the sky, and then exhale, draw them right back to your heart center. Let's do that on the opposite side. So find that stability with your left foot, press into the hands right at the heart, bend the right knee. Okay, reach that right hand back and just grab onto the ankle or the top of the foot, and then just pull the heel in towards the glute. Okay, elbow and knee are in line with the hip. All right, so we're not coming out to the side, and then we're just going to begin to hinge forward softly from the left hip, keeping the right hip in line, and then just find that balance. And once you feel balanced, you can begin to press the foot into the hand as you lift the hand up towards the sky. So keeping the glute nice and strong. Just lifting and keeping the shoulders level to the front of the mat. Deep breath in. Finding your balance here. Really pulling that right shoulder down away from the ear. Opening up the heart forward. Deep breath. And one more breath here. And then exhale, stand right back up. Very good, you guys. Release the right foot down. Bring the hands right back to heart center. Let's reach the arms down and up on an inhale. Bend the elbows and fly all the way down into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Let's lift halfway up into your Ardha, and then exhale, fold all the way down. Stepping straight back into your plank pose, and then release the knees all the way down. Tap the forehead, and then let's just press the hands up, and then sink the hips back, coming right into our Balasana pose. So just to neutral the spine out and recenter. Lift the hips up, and then we're going to sink the hips back down again. Okay, Okay, so rolling the body all the way down towards the floor. Forehead comes towards the floor. What we're gonna do is bend the left heel, bend the right heel. Peel the heart up off the floor like we're in Bhujangasana, so I'm pressing the hands into the floor. Shoulders peel back, heart peels forward, finding length in the spine. Okay, I'm gonna reach back for my left ankle and then reach back for my right ankle. So here what I'm doing is pressing my torso into the floor, all right, pulling the heart forward, pressing the shoulder blades into the back, and keeping the heels right behind my glutes. The glutes are nice and strong. I'm gonna begin to really lift my knees away from the floor as I press the ankles into the hands, lifting the hands up towards the sky. Dhanurasana, okay? All right, so pressing up with the hands, ankles pressing into the hands, shoulders are coming back, heart is pulling forward, knees are staying in line with the hips. So I'm squeezing the inner thighs in towards the center body. My legs are not touching, but my knees are hip distance apart. And just keep breathing. Amazing stretch for the front of the body, the shoulders, the chest, the neck, the quad muscles, the knees, everything. And just breathe. See if you can lift a little bit higher. Really squeeze the glutes, lift. Press the shoulder blades into the heart. One more breath. And then exhale. Release the knees, release the body. Go ahead and bring one cheek all the way down to the floor. And just breathe. Let's try that one more time, okay? So press the hands into the floor. Roll the heart up slightly. We're gonna bend the heels in towards the body. Okay, reach back for one ankle, reach back for the other ankle. You guys know what to do, so shoulders back. We're gonna begin to lift the knees, press the torso into the floor, lifting the knees, keeping them in line with your glutes. We're gonna lift, lift, lift the hands up towards the sky. Breathe, find space in the spine. So tailbone is pulling down as we squeeze the glutes. We're lifting the knees. Breathe here. Shoulders back. Pulling that heart forward. Taking a breath. And then exhale, release the knees back down. Release the hands. Release the opposite cheek to the floor. Hands can go back. Let's bring the palms back to the floor. This time what we're going to do is just press into the hands, lift up to your tabletop, sink back, Balasana. Take a rest, release the forehead. You can even have the hands to face backwards if that feels good for you. Just listen to your body. When you want to find some peace and some recentering within this pose. All right, you guys, so bring the hands back forward. We're gonna lift up into our tabletop and just come to the middle of your mat, knees hip distance apart. Come back into that starting pose, our Virasana. We're sitting on the heels. We're gonna come in for our Ustrasana pose. Okay, so camel pose, really lifting the heart up towards the sky. We wanna find length here. All right, so pressing into the shins, pressing into the top of the feet. Go ahead and just lift the hips right above the knees, okay? Tailbone is going to pull down, lift up through the spine all the way through the crown of the head. Arms can reach up to start out, and then exhale, arms can come right back behind you. And then we're just going to place the hands just to start out with the palms on your sacrum. Okay, so pressing the bottom of the spine, elbows point back, heart's going to pull forward. We're going to squeeze the inner thighs together, draw that tailbone down as we pull the outer hips in towards the midline, and we're just gonna lift the heart up towards the sky. Breathe. Really pressing the hips forward as we arch back, almost like we're going over a pole. So we're not just dropping back, we're lifting and arching over top. Taking a breath. And then let's release the hips. Bring the hands to the top of the thighs and just sit down for just a moment. So dropping the chin down. All right, you guys, let's do that again. So we're going to lift the hips up. reach the arms up towards the sky, find that alignment, and then fly the arms out just like we did our clasps behind with our hands clasped. And this time what we're gonna do is just reach the arms behind us. So we're gonna lift the heart up, all the way up. If you'd like to here, you can curl your toes under just to bring your heels up, whichever works for you today, all right? I'm gonna release the top of my feet and we're just gonna lift the heart up, begin to arch the upper body, and then just release the hands onto the heels, really reaching those arms behind you, pressing the shoulder blades into the spine, shoulders down. Go ahead and release the head back. You should have a nice cushion behind you. So release the head back. We're pressing the hips forward, squeezing the hips together, taking a breath, finding that space, opening our hearts and our souls up for love, releasing all that tightness, all that closed offness within us. Taking a breath here. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release the hands, lift all the way back up, bring the head up. Very carefully sit right back onto your heels, dropping the chin down. And then let's just go ahead and bring the hands in front of us. Just coming in for a balasana pose. Just taking a breath, releasing here. Releasing all those emotions, those feelings that came up. Just roll the body right back up. This time we're just gonna swoop the legs just out to the side and come into a supine pose. So coming all the way back onto your back. Let's tuck the shoulders and then draw the tailbone down. Let's bring the knees into the chest and just take a nice deep breath here, rocking the knees side to side, pulling the knees in towards the chest. Just massage in the lower spine. And then when you're ready, go ahead and extend that left leg all the way out in front of you. And all we're gonna do is just take that right knee, bring the left hand on top of it, and just let it fall to the left side here. You can extend your right arm out to the side. Most importantly, to make sure your shoulders are flat on the floor, both shoulders. So if you need to bring a pillow or a block here underneath the knee to do so, that's perfectly fine. I want you to find a surrender within this pose. Find some softness, relaxation, and just breathe here. Just trying to release the lower spine. Let's take a deep breath in. Surrender further into this pose, finding some relaxation here. Just take one last deep breath in. And then when you're ready, bring that right knee in. Let's just bring the left knee in, coming back to neutral, just to sway the knees side to side. And then let's do the same thing on the opposite side. So extend the right leg out this time. We're gonna bring that left knee now to fall over to the right side. Alright, so shoulders flat on the floor, extending the left arm out maybe to the side. You may notice one side is a little bit tighter than the other side. That's just tightness within the spine. That's completely fine, it's normal. Just listening to your body. Just see how you can find some softness within this pose, okay? So maybe first starting with the face. We have a ton of muscles within our face, and anytime we go into a deep stretch or have some movement within the body or even the mind, you'll notice the face tightens up somewhere. So just finding some softness in each muscle within the face, noticing where you're holding tension, just allowing that to relax. Once you do so, you'll notice your body tends to relax a little bit further into the pose. And softening the eyes, maybe allowing the lips to just soften apart, just breathing. Let's take one more deep breath here. On your exhale, let's draw that knee just in towards the chest. Bring both knees in again. Just a little Apanasana squeeze, swaying side to side, massaging the lower spine. And then when you're ready, let's just go ahead and roll to one side. Use the top hand to press into the floor, lifting the head last. We're just gonna come into an easy seated pose to close out our practice today. Just sit nice and tall, reaching the arms up towards the sky on a deep breath in, drawing the hands together, bringing your hands to heart center, Samastiti, right to your heart, dropping your chin down, just honoring yourself for showing up today and just finding that love for yourself. And with this, we're able to love others and those around us even more and even deeper. So just thanking yourself for finding the time to do this today. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through this beautiful practice. I hope you feel a little bit more open, a little more vulnerable, and find a little more love for yourself. Thank you. Namaste.